Going on, Jerome's Minnesota Fighting Vikings superstar receiver Justin friggin' Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the National Football League, is slated to return from his 7-game hiatus with his unfortunate hamstring issue, but is 110% ready to rock and roll against the Raiders as the Vikings look to close out the season strong and rack up and stack up a couple wins, and also adding the best receiver to a passing game that's been sort of certainly can only help. And Alec Lewis, the Athletic, put this out. Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson is happy to be back. Woo! I said his motivation down the stretch is winning, mentioned playoffs, then Super Bowl. That's right. Also, it's always funny. So when you see press conferences, especially on the road, like you see the player, you see or the coach, and you see the background, the microphones, right? But oftentimes, sometimes they'll have this travel background with them. Sometimes they literally just duct tape things onto the wall. God bless PR teams, man. They're fantastic. But also, look at the background. Our girl Lindsey Young, as well as Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who is not Carl Gershman, who's not right there. Everyone's smiling. Everyone loves JJ, man. Also, JJ checking out his cause, his cleats. Good stuff there. And Justin Jefferson fed the local media jackals and talked about stuff and things and stuff. Some of the highlights. So, obviously the boilerplate, excited to be back with the team, excited to be back competing, excited to be back with the guys. And thing about JJ that I loved is how involved that he was, where he was on the sidelines, he was in the meeting rooms. Now, he didn't pull a Rodgers where it made it all about him. And yeah, there was a couple of camera shots to JJ on the side, but you could tell it was just leadership. He was absolutely invested in the receiver room, hyping up Josh Dobbs, even though he just met Josh Dobbs a couple days earlier in the Falcons game. Here we go, Josh. There we go, Josh. And he's going to need the passionate to be a passionate, not delivering hospital balls. And yeah, JJ should be a major part of that, man. Also, he referred to Kirk Cousins, talks to him every single day. Kirk is very involved in the training room. He's doing the bulk of his rehab at TCO, and JJ is talking about Kirk's got all these dad jokes, which makes sense. I feel like Kirk has a low-key sort of dry sense of humor, but dad jokes certainly straight up the alleyway. Also, Jefferson, what's really unfortunate is that before the season, there had been talk about JJ2K being the first player in NFL history to crest 2,000 yards. Now, I do think that Tyreek Hill will get it this year. He's been playing great, but JJ, I don't know. The injury did set things back. But as of right now, he does have 571 yards receiving from the 5 games that he did play. And he says that his new goal is 1,000 yards, which would be great because that would help out a passing game that's been sort of vertically challenged. Kind of like me playing basketball. But JJ over the last 5 games to reach 1K would have to bring in 85.8 receiving yards per game, which is certainly doable. And also he mentioned, I feel like he definitely understood that people were starting to get frustrated. When he lashed out at the fantasy football jabronis, when he shut down his social media for a hot second, people were sort of pissed about JJ not being out there. And they weren't really complaining during the 5-game winning streak without JJ, the Bears, Niners, Packers, Falcons, Saints, oh my. But losing against the Broncos and especially losing against the Bears the second time where the offense was just inert. People get frustrated. But JJ, you could tell, he heard everything. But he wasn't going to be back before he was 100%. And I think that's smart because it reduces the chance of him re-injuring it. And also, JJ at 100%, yeah, you'll say JJ 80%, but would he potentially be hurting the team? It's a possibility. So I'm glad that he talked about he wasn't going to come back until there was explosiveness. And if he wasn't as explosive at coming back, he won't be out there. So that is good news for Vikings fans' ears, knowing that JJ, knocking on all the wood, is going to be 100% vintage Justin Jefferson on Sunday against the Raiders. And he is feeling good. So that's what's really important right now. And again, it's a spot where if say the Broncos or Bears game was the Super Bowl, would JJ have been out there? Yes, very, very likely. It'd been like Terrell Owens playing that Super Bowl against the Patriots on that broken leg. I think T.O. had 9 catches for 150 yards or something ridiculous that game too. But the whole thing about it is that it wasn't the Super Bowl in the middle of the season. But now, having JJ back and healthy and ready to go, I mean, the Vikings, even at 6-6, I mean, last 5 games, got to beat the Raiders, got to beat the Bengals, got to at least split with the Lions, got to take care of business at home against the Packers. I think at minimum, the Vikings have to go 3-2. 4-1 would be better down the stretch, and JJ back 100% into the playoffs, I think certainly could and should help things. So I'm glad that employee number 18 is back. I'm glad that the Vikings nuclear weapon is back. I'm glad that everything is back. There we go. But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Justin friggin' Jefferson feeds the local media jackals on Thursday. Talks about his hamstring, his return, everything, man. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.